Good morning. Welcome to Nigeria Now on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TS Television, the program which brings you major headlines across all of the national dailies here in Nigeria. My name is Sagir Ibrahim, and with me in the studio is our in-studio political and newspaper analyst, Mr. Felix Adetobu. Good morning, Mr. Felix.
Good morning.
Yes, nice to see you once again.
Nice to see you this morning.
Yes, so let's start with the Daily Times newspaper. A very obvious headline there, Justice Odili's home invasion fallout. Don't make judiciary the weeping child, Supreme Court warns other arms of government. Orders full-scale independent probe of invasion of Justice Odili's home. Alleges perpetrators wanted to kill her. Says judiciary can't only bark but can also bite. SANS storms CJ and AGF offices in protest, insists government must unearth those behind incident. So I do know that a weeping child is one who takes the responsibility or one who is blamed when ever something goes wrong in a family. So for the Nigerian judiciary to say, look, we don't want to be the weeping child, or don't take us as weeping children, or don't take us as a weeping child, don't you think it indicts the remaining arms of government?
Thank you very much, Sagir. You know, the issue is this. For how long are we going to be painting the judiciary with a tar brush of odium, with a tar brush of shame? For how long are we going to be, disgracing another arm of government when we know that we are practicing democracy? Sagir, in 2007, something happened in Pakistan. When President Musharraf, that's on the 15th of March 2007, President Musharraf tried to, he ousted the CJN of Pakistan then. And the judiciary made sure that they brought the whole judiciary, the judicial system into a standstill until that man was returned. This is the second highest person in the rank in the Supreme Court. Then why are we treating this person like this? Even if you want to oust anybody, there are procedures. Section 158 of the Constitution is very clear, and it makes some bodies independent, which the NJC is also part of it. Definitely, the executive does not have any power, in ousting any judicial officer. And secondly, if you look at part 1 of the third schedule, section 21 of it, it's very clear on the procedures at which you remove, an hearing officer in the judiciary. So why are we not going through the right process? Why should we be doing everything in Gestapo manner? You see, these things just call for a lot of things, and you begin to see that the executive is trying to usurp the power that belongs to the judiciary. It's not good.
Okay, so alleged perpetrators wanted to kill her. Don't you think this is quite a weighty allegation?
No, it can't be weighty. If you follow what happened on Friday, you will see that what would be the conclusion of a reasonable person. Now, look at discrepancies. The police went to the magistrate at Zone 6. The magistrate signed. Later, the magistrate said she was misled by the Attorney General of the Federation. Later, the Attorney General said he doesn't know about it. Later, he said, hey, different kind of stories. If you look at the warrant of arrest, the warrant of arrest does not even carry the address of that woman. It carries the address of Imo Street or River Street, but she stays at Imo River Street. It's a lot of discrepancies, and that's why the woman and these people were harmed coming to her house. What would you have suggested?
That's true. All right, moving to the Daily Trust newspaper. Ikoyi building collapse. Outrage. Agony as death toll hits 20. Many still trapped. Another two-story caves in. Lawyers to sue government seeks compensation for victims' families. Experts blames Lagos for negligence. How I escaped from collapsed building. That's according to a laborer. This is quite an unfortunate turn of events. I mean, just yesterday we were talking about how the death toll got to around 4 to 8, and now we have 20. So I read somewhere in the news that the Lagos state government had suspended I think the Director General, or was it the person in charge of, checking the structural integrity
Yes.
of buildings in Lagos State? I mean, that's a step forward, but however, how do you think the government is or should tread, I beg your pardon, to ensure that, because I mean this has already happened, but to prevent this from happening in the future and then to manage these issues as best as possible?
I think the governor of Lagos State had taken the right step. Yesterday we discussed about this. That's SU role in this kind of things, because you are dealing with human life. You shouldn't be careless. Where were they when this thing was raised to that height? And with what I also read yesterday, when Amzad, that's the deputy governor, was talking,
Yes.
said that that place was once sealed for 4 months. Then who reopened the place? So there are a lot of questions to be asked and questions to be answered in this. So I think some right steps have been taken. But the major thing is that the gross violation of the ethics, professional ethics of engineering that has been carried out by some of these developers should be looked into. We can't just look away when all these things are happening. Every day, everywhere you see different places, developers are everywhere. But how many of these developers are really following the right thing, the right procedure of engineering? So all these things should be done. Maybe the Nigerian Society of Engineering should also come up and try as much as possible to monitor their people very well. And also the government of each state too should put more eyes in all these things to save human lives.
All right, quite an unfortunate turn of events, like I said earlier, and I pray that may the souls of those lost from the building collapse rest in peace, and also pray that those still trapped get free as soon as possible. Underneath at the footer of the Daily Trust newspaper, we see families narrate ordeals as kidnappers abduct 2 profs, others in Uni Abuja. That headline is also replicated on the Blueprint newspaper. We see as its banner headline, 6 months after Niger governor's warning, bandits abduct Uni Abuja Dawn, 2 children, 2 others. Surrounding school on red alert. It's sign nation's capital unsafe, and that's according to residents. No cause for panic, police assure. Imam killed in Katsina, 23 regain freedom. That could be found on page 6. Well, there you have it, Mr.
It's quite
another
unfortunate.
Week of insecurity issues making
very unfortunate. It's like almost every day now you wake up to see this. When I heard the news yesterday, it's quite unfortunate that such is happening to us. Entering into the quarters of the staffers of University of Abuja is not something that is good for the country, and professors taken away. And well, I just feel that something drastic will be done, and these people will be gotten. Then at the same time, it's like the National Assembly is coming up with making vigilantes to be part of not like police, but at least a kind of to secure. I think if they can legislate on this and make it a law, I think it's going to really help, since we don't have enough police. So.
Truly, I also subscribe to that belief, owing to the fact that vigilantes have been effective in the past and are still very, very effective.
Exactly.
And all they need is some form of mobilization and a little bit of leadership and structure. So if the government could, in its wisdom, and the legislature, create some sort of enabling environments to ensure a direct working relationship between these vigilantes and the Nigerian police, for example, or the entire armed forces. I mean, there's going to be a synergy that is going to a large extent reduce, the amount of insecurity situations we are seeing, because these vigilantes are actually the ones in the grassroots. So lots of them knows the perpetrators of this crime.
Exactly.
So it will go a long way, truly and really. Yes, so on the Nigerian News Direct newspaper, we see GPRS, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, builds data gathering capacity on objects under Earth. Besides that, we see fuel scarcity. We have 1.7 billion liters PMS reserves, and that's according to the GMD of the NNPC military. We also see Enugu ex-bank manager bags 18 years jail term for 219 million naira fraud. For the very obvious headline there, we see infrastructure deficit. FG needs $1.5 trillion, I beg your pardon, to fix Nigerian roads, and that's according to the president. He says Nigeria will accept investors participate in launch of global methane pledge. Underneath the pictures of the day there, we see Ikoyi building collapse. Sanwo-Olu suspends GM Lagos Building Control Agency. We spoke about that earlier. How we're winning war against crimes in Ondo, and that's by the Governor Dapo Abiodun. International breweries grow revenue by 32.1% in quarter 3, 2021. And finally, Shell approves $800 million contract for Nigerian companies. So you can catch all of these headlines and the ones earlier read by getting a copy of this various newspaper to simply keep updated. That's it for Nigeria Now on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You could be a part of the program by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch a recap of the show via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network, and you could also watch it via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. As always, I am Sagir Ibrahim saying, stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.